Bobbie, I have a feeling I'll never have you as a roommate again.
Oh, Jess, that's probably true. But I promise I'll make up for it. I'd love for you to be our first dinner guest.
All right.
Anyway, I want to add my congratulations, D.L.
Well, I tell you, I am thrilled that you were able to perform the ceremony, Lee, and that you were part of it, Dan.
A lot of eating out.
My pleasure.
Well, nevertheless, I am very, very grateful to you both. Now, I understand that we haven't always agreed in the past, but I want you to realize that was politics, and this is friendship.
Definitely. A toast to the groom.
I'll drink to that.
Long and happy future.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
I am so happy for you.
Then why are you so serious?
I think you know. Honey, I wouldn't spoil this day for anything. But I do have to know, did you tell Brock?
The right moment just hasn't come up yet.
Oh, honey, you've got to make the moment. You can't start a marriage with a secret.
Oh, Ruby, I know you're right.
Honey, you just have to tell him very, very soon.
I will. I'll tell him, I promise. But I'm not going to tell him on our wedding day. It would spoil all of his passion.
Oh, you two, you look so solemn.
Oh, not at all. I'm just so happy for both of you. Oh, you dear, wonderful fella.
Yeah, it is the happiest day of my life. And listen, I have a suggestion for Mrs. Brock.
Do you know you're the first person to call me that?
Well, who has a better right? Huh?
Nobody, and I love hearing it.
This is my suggestion. I think it's time that the mayor got back to work, huh? Don't you think so? Listen, Gail. Gail, you did a wonderful job. Thank you so much.
Oh, Gail, it's beautiful, and we love you for it. Thank you.
Oh, I loved helping. It was a small wedding, but oh my, it was perfect.
This gorgeous creature is going to make the best wife in the world, and very soon, the best mother. Hey, listen, Lee. Could I thank you?
And I would remind this panel that Dr. Putnam is acutely aware that he did, in fact, do wrong. But we submit that he cannot be held responsible for circumstances beyond his control. He did not choose the country in which he was born, nor the obligations that were thrust upon him as part and parcel of his formative years. Further, we submit that he has proven his humanity as a physician throughout his entire adult lifetime. At all times, his allegiance to medicine has overtaken any other belief.
If I may interrupt.
Certainly, Doctor.
This panel has been convened with a very specific purpose. And the guidelines have been clearly clarified and defined. Now, you, sir, are addressing Mr. Putnam's philosophy, which is clearly irrelevant. Now, we have no interest in his rejection or acceptance of any national creed or allegiance. Our interest, indeed, the only reason for this hearing is to determine the facts at issue.
We understand that, sir.
Well, that is not evident from your remarks. The fact is, this man was granted a license to practice medicine as one Grant Putnam, M.D., and the further fact is, he is not Grant Putnam, as he himself has testified. Therefore, the record he used to gain admittance to medical school and thereafter to become a resident in orthopedics was not his.
Yes, but surely, gentlemen, you...
I may finish?
Sorry.
I believe what is at issue here must be clearly defined. And the one fundamental fact is this man entered the medical profession under false pretenses. If you have any comment on that issue, we will be glad to hear it.
Grant?
Yes, I do. Gentlemen, I may have used a false...
Not may have, sir. You yourself admitted that you did.
That's correct. I used a false name. But I assure you, my credentials as a doctor are genuine.
Do you have those credentials? Or any proof that they existed?
Doctor, those records are in a hostile foreign country.
So you have informed us, you know. Now we ask, can you produce them?
Sir, I have no hope of producing those records. But I will do anything else that you gentlemen ask.
I'm sorry. The basic issue is a man lied about his medical record. He entered the profession under a false name, and now he can produce not one shred of evidence to even indicate that he was qualified to even study medicine.
Gentlemen, Dr. Putnam has admitted those facts not once but innumerable times. He does not contest their validity.
Then what is your basic argument, sir?
It is not an argument, doctors. It is a plea. We ask that you give full weight to the special circumstances in this matter. We further ask that you, yes, ignore his original credentials in view of his excellent record as a doctor.
In short, you're asking us to ignore the basic issue of this hearing.
Yes, sir. Considering his record as a doctor, yes, we are.
Do you understand?
Do you have anything further?
No, sir. In summary, we ask this panel to consider the present.
And ignore the past. I believe we understand that. There being nothing further, we will withdraw for deliberation. If you gentlemen will wait, we will return with our verdict without undue delay. Thank you.
No, thank you.
I could have seen that little wallaby hopping around in here.
It was fun.
Okay.
For exactly 3 minutes.
That's
and then
quite
all we
all
could
right.
see was the destruction ahead of us.
Well, that was the zoo and the fun.
Oh, don't tell me our other furry little Australian is homesick already.
Very funny. No, far from it. He's up and jumping about and chewing down bushes as fast as he can find them.
Oh, well, that is good news.
I thought maybe we could plant a tree here in the living room, just for occasional visits.
That was not part of the plan.
Just testing. Who'd like some more wine?
No, thank you. I'm fine. I have a lot to do before Brent gets back from the hearing.
I'm so pleased you came by today.
You will let us know how it turns out, won't you?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, whichever way it does. I mean, that is what friends are for.
You both have been so wonderful letting me sweat it out here with you. It really has helped.
I just wish we could have gone up there to be with him, give him some moral support.
Rules.
Not all rules make sense.
Well, if anyone can make a strong case, Jake Myers can.
Well, I hope the hearing goes in Grant's favor. I don't know what he'll do if it goes against him.
Jake, what is taking them so long?
You know what I hope?
What?
That they're doing what we asked, taking time to consider the special circumstances.
They're coming back.
This hearing is reconvened. Our apologies for keeping you waiting so long, gentlemen.
There's no need to apologize, Doctor. We are grateful that you are indeed taking the time to consider all the aspects in this case.
I can assure you we did just that. And for the record, the panel commends you for your thoughtful presentation.
Thank you.
I can also say we have carefully examined the petitioner's record as a doctor and found it excellent, just as you predicted. However, our responsibility in this hearing has been clearly defined, and we cannot and must not stray from our basic purpose. In other words, we are not here merely to approve or disapprove of the petitioner's performance as a member of this profession.
With all due respect, Doctor, I would argue that this is indeed the issue here.
The panel disagrees. Fundamentally, we are charged with the responsibility to protect the medical profession from the least suggestion of wrongdoing. In reaching our decision, we had to consider not just the matter at hand regarding Mr. Putnam, but the medical profession itself.
May we hear the decision, Doctor?
Before we announce that, we think you are entitled to hear how we reached our decision.
Thank you.
It was felt unanimously that even if a doctor performs brilliantly, if in fact he is an imposter, he is performing under false pretenses. This cannot be tolerated in a profession which depends to a considerable degree on the full trust and confidence of patients.
There has been no suggestion that Dr. Putnam did not merit or enjoy that confidence.
I agree. But again, we find that is not the issue. This man may have performed as a good doctor, indeed, even as a brilliant one. We'll concede that he did. But the cold, hard fact remains his entire career in medicine is based on a lie. By his own admission, he is not Grant Putnam, and in our judgment, to practice under that name renders him both unprofessional, and dishonest.
But, gentlemen, surely...
Bear with me. In our deliberations, it became increasingly apparent that he could not even supply evidence to indicate that he was ever qualified to enroll in medical school. Until he can produce such evidence, indeed, until he can prove otherwise, we are forced to conclude that he didn't have the proper credentials to enter medical training. Therefore, it is the unanimous decision of this board that his license to practice medicine be revoked, effective now.
On All My Children.
Your baby will be placed in protective custody until his custody has been determined.
I'm all the protection he needs. I'm his mother.
Hey, you're under arrest. And somewhere between power and passion, mystery and intrigue, love and hate, lies the edge of night. And Rona Barrett's back in People to People, a week of specials starting Monday at 10 a.m.
Darling. Oh. What happened?
Celia, it's over.
Over.
They took away my license.
Oh, no, Grant, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry I even have to be the one to tell you. Darling, you've been so damn supportive through this whole thing. It's only your faith that has gotten me through each day. And now there's nothing left of me.
Don't say that, Grant.
I'm not a doctor anymore.
Well, what did Jake say? Isn't there some way to make an appeal?
It's over.
Grant, I know it's a shock to you. It is for me, too, but we're not over. Never.
There is nothing else I can do, Celia. I don't even know if I'll get to keep my job with Brian now.
But I don't...
And if I do, that's not enough money for us to live on. Not without my practicing medicine.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. I must work. I have to have an income.
Grant, you're forgetting about the money I get from my trust fund. We can live on that.
Celia, I know about that money. I know you mean well, but I don't want to live off of my wife for the rest of my life. Don't you understand that?
Grant, it's only temporary.
Until when? Until the board reconsiders? They're never going to do that, Celia. I am finished. I have no other recourse.
May I make a suggestion, Grant?
What?
I know this is hard for you right now. It's a shock for me, and I know it's worse for you, but I don't think that right now is any time to make a decision.
Celia, I am never again going to practice medicine, and that is a fact. What is this doing here?
Nothing. Here, I'll throw it away.
Well, what's it doing here?
Well, I suppose I put it there.
Why?
Is
there something in here, Celia?
Nothing that you'd like to see right now, Grant, dear.
What is in this paper?
The editorial page, Grant.
Well, this really makes the day, doesn't it? First the hearing, and now this. Did you see this before I left for Albany?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell me about it?
Because I couldn't, Grant. I didn't want you to be thinking about this before the hearing. I didn't want to distract you.
And I suppose that Robert and Holly have seen it?
Yes.
Did you hear from them? Or are we just off their list now?
Grant, you're misjudging them. And in fact, that's where I was today. Robert and Holly are our friends. They're still our friends.
Yeah. They are, at least until the pressure starts to build, and believe me, darling, it will.
Grant, they aren't going to abandon you. You'll see that.
Maybe you're right. God, After this day, I'm not in any frame of mind to make a judgment about anyone. I don't feel like I can trust anyone. Oh, Celia. I need you so much now.
I'm here for you, Grant. I always will be.
If you weren't, I would be completely lost.
Well, you know, maybe there's one good thing going for us.
What's that?
Things can't possibly get any worse.
Dr. Borden.
Ah, there you are.
I've been waiting all day for you. Did you talk to Mr. Armistead?
Yes, I did reach him. But Dr. Tremaine was with me when I talked to him.
Oh, thank God.
Well, look, let's sit down over here a moment, shall we?
I was right, wasn't I?
Well, the conversation, oh boy, didn't exactly prove that.
What?
Now, look, I did speak to a Mr. Henry Armistead in the States, a lawyer, yes.
Are you saying there was a problem?
Well, the problem was his, I'm afraid.
Well, if there was a problem, why didn't you come and tell me about it earlier? I've been waiting here all day.
I know, old boy, but I didn't delay deliberately. The circuits to the States were busy, for one thing, and as you know, I do have other patients to attend to. This is the first opportunity I've had to tell you about the call.
All right. What happened? What did he say?
Well, not very much, I'm sorry to report.
But Henry must have been in shock after all these years. He was certainly surprised. You gave him a chance to collect his thoughts, didn't you?
He was not surprised, old boy, because mine was not the first call that he's had relative to Grant Putnam.
I don't understand.
Apparently, others have also claimed to be Grant Putnam, quite a large number of others.
But that has nothing to do with me.
Now, look, let me try to explain something to you. People in trauma, people such as you, people who either, well, can't remember their identity or don't want to remember.
Doctor, will you get to the point?
People like this frequently hear something or read something that strikes a chord, something that makes them want to take on the identity of the person they've read about.
Are you saying... Oh, my God, you are. I don't believe this. You think I'm imagining this whole thing.
No, I'm just saying that such people truly believe that they are this person, just as I think you truly believe you're Grant Putnam.
Wait a second. This is some kind of test, isn't it?
No. I'm just trying to explain, old boy, that you could be suffering an illusion.
You're serious, aren't you? Oh, this is a nightmare. I want you to call Henry Armistead again.
Look,
now!
Armistead would serve no purpose.
Yes, he would serve a purpose. He can prove that I am who I say I am. Now, you get Henry Armistead for me this minute.
Take it easy. Sit down and try to be calm.
No, I will not. I will not sit down and I will not be calm, Doctor. What are you trying to do to me? Why don't you believe me? Why don't you believe me?
Be calm.
Listen. What are you doing? I want another doctor. You get me another doctor. You listen to me. I want another doctor.
To give him
please, doctor, listen to me. Listen to me. Please, why don't you believe me? I'm Grant Putnam. I am Grant Putnam. Listen to me.